个艺术家是被人做档案研究的对象。
As an artist, I have been the subject of archivists.
我是又感动又有点复杂。今天
I feel very touched and very mixed feelings.
我也在想想，今天当然我是用手机同时翻译看的。
After today's whole sessions, and throughout the sessions today, I've been relying on my translation app to hear the live translation.
但是这样我已经很感动，也认为我手机很多东西要小心，有很多录音。
Although it was only machine translation, I already felt very, very touched by the contents. And I made a mental note to myself that I have to be cautious in the future in case anyone record my speech and they did translation, maybe they will know what's in my mind.
Okay. 今天我还有一个感动，是我30年前来美国，带着我太太还有孩子。
One more thing that's touching me, especially today, is that actually 30 years ago, I came to the U.S. along with my wife and my children.
当时我就是 ACC 邀请我来在 PS1 的工作室工作1年。
And I came thanks to ACC scholarship, and they invited me to do an artist residency here at MoMA PS1 for 1 whole year.
从那个时候开始，我的美国时代的档案就开始建立起来。
Which means, starting from then, the archives about my American period started.
所以我要感谢 ACC， 还有感谢PS1。
So truly, I have to thank ACC and PS1.
也感谢 Carol 对这个活动的赞助。
I've also have to thank Carol for sponsoring today's symposium.
当然感谢 Paul 的策划，还有带来的这么令我要小心的，而且要从今以后要更多思考的这些档案的研究。
And of course, my gratitude goes to Paul as the curator for today's events, and also for all the wonderful speakers who made me feel I need to be more cautious in the future, because everything will be archived, maybe.
所以当然也很感谢今天我们的工作室几代那个档案还有员工都在场。
And also have to thank all the Thai studio archivists, past and present, over the past 20 years.
所以谢谢大家的出席。
So, well, again, thank you everyone for coming here today.
中午我以为大家出去武汉了以后会不回来呢，结果还回来。
I thought that not everyone will come back after lunch break, but I was wrong.
我在想，我们为什么会这么喜欢、这么执着档案？
I kept wondering, why are we so obsessed about archives?
也许就是宇宙学最近的说法：万物皆信息，宇宙的本质就是信息。
Perhaps, as cosmology suggests today, everything is information, and the essence of the universe is information.
生命的意义是保存宇宙的信息，人类是宇宙地球信息的最佳储存器。
The meaning of life is to preserve the universe information. Human beings are the best storage medium for the information of Earth and the cosmos.
将自然宇宙和地球生命多种复杂的信息，我们一代代的传下来。
We human beings pass on the vast, intricate information of nature, of the universe, and of life on Earth, generation after generation.
某种意义上，保存信息就是生命的本质。
In a sense, the essence of life is the preservation of information.
所以，人类在信息处理器里面有语言、绘画、文字、无线电、电视、互联网等等的漫长发展历程。
Well, human beings have developed information processors across millennia: language, painting, writing, radio, television, and internet.
今天的 AI 可能是碳基生命为了终极的发现而创造的硅基生命。
Today, AI may be a form of silicon-based life created by carbon-based life in pursuit of the ultimate discovery.
也许 AI 将以信息传递、保存和处理的巨大威力影响着人类。
Perhaps AI will bring a big leap in the transmission, preservation, and processing of information, and will profoundly affect humanity.
所以从这个角度来看，宇宙的目的是延续宇宙的信息，生命的目的是延续生命的信息。
So from this perspective, perhaps the purpose of the universe is to continue the universe information, and the purpose of life is to continue life's information.
所以，宇宙生命本身就是一个最大的档案库。我们做的档案工作，其实是都参与到这个宏大的进程中。
So The universe and life themselves are the largest archives. The archival work we do is, in fact, part of this grand process.
所以，如果信息是宇宙万物的基本单元，档案就是信息的一种形式和管理方法。
So maybe if information is the fundamental unit of all things in the universe, then an archive is a form of information and also a way of managing information.
我们身上既有前辈艺术家的基因遗传，又有艺术史的宏大档案。
Within us, we carry both the inherited genes of predecessor artists and the vast archive of art history.
信息是原始材料，而档案则是材料赋予结构和目的的容器或者工具。
Information is the raw material, while archives are the containers or tools that give this material structure and purpose.
信息回答是什么？档案则回答如何将这些信息组织起来，以便未来使用。
Information answers the question what, while archives answer how. How this information is organized for future use.
档案往往能帮助人们寻找、发现或者等待在新的环境条件下的突变。
Archives often help people search, discover, or wait for mutations that emerge under new conditions.
在这些档案的专家面前谈这些是一个很危险的。
I know it's a dangerous thing to share these remarks in front of all these archivist scholars, experts.
不要紧，这些都是我跟 AI 的对答形成的。
But don't worry, most of what I just said actually comes from my conversation with AI.
设立档案贡献奖的初衷，就是希望向长期在艺术家领域的工作表现的人们表达由衷的建议。
The original intention behind establishing the Archival Contribution Award was to express sincere respect to those who have worked in the fields of artists' archives for many years.
蔡基金会设立档案贡献奖，在构思奖杯的时候，我选择用玻璃和天然形态的石头。
Tsai Foundation established the Archival Contribution Award. When conceiving the trophy, I chose to use glass to create a natural stone-like form.
希望这一个奖杯象征档案工作的历史责任。天然未经雕铸，沉默透明，结构复杂又平静平缓，是时间的结晶。
I hope that the trophy symbolizes the historical responsibility of archival work. Natural, uncarved, silent, transparent, structurally complex yet calm, ordinary, and a crystallization of time.
玻璃里面的一个小小的火药爆炸，也象征档案工作的内在力量和小小的危险。
The small gunpowder explosion within the glass also symbolizes the inner vitality of archival work.
今年用了蓝色的火药，未来每届的颜色都会不一样。希望它不仅是一个奖项，也能成为一个持续的档案本身，成为一个档案，让以后的艺术历史能够延续的机构和个人可以得到。
This year we used blue gunpowder. In the future, each edition will use a different color. I hope it becomes not only an award, but an ongoing archive in itself, left to the organizations and individuals who sustain the continuity of art history.
接下来颁发今年的个人奖，获奖者是列口托米博士。
Next, I'm happy to present this year's individual award. The recipient is Dr. Reiko Tomi. 列口奖是研究日本和亚洲当代艺术最重要的学者之一。Reiko-san is one of the most important scholars studying Japanese and Asian contemporary art.
也是从1995年我受 AC 邀请来了以后，从东京到纽约就开始一直支持我，并在我的档案建设上给予基础建设的策划者。
She was also the one who has supported me since 1995 when I first came to New York from Tokyo on ACC's invitation. She was the one who helped design the foundation of my archival system.
甚至我的英文名字的写法，那个也策划了。他建议泰国强每个字母的大写都要用大写，名字中间要加连符，然后再形成了 CGQ， 这样就成了我的英文的格式，也成了我艺术生涯的一部分。
Even the English rendering of my name was conceived by Reiko-san. She suggested writing Cai Guoqiang with all capital initials and a hyphen between the given name. so it could be abbreviated as CGQ. This became the standard format of my English name and a part of my artistic career.
当我1997年在皇后美术馆击败美国个展的第一个个展时，烈火帮我整理编辑了最专业的履历。后来我发表履历，每一次有一直延长，都要写上一句是烈火博士最初编辑简历。
When I held my first solo exhibition in the U.S. at the Queen's Museum in 1997, Reiko-san helped me compile and edit the most professional CV I had ever had. Afterwards, every time I published my CV, I would note, based on the CV originally compiled by Dr. Reiko Tomi.
我非常感激，也很荣幸将这个奖项奖给Reiko-san。致敬他多年的经验、精准判断和极高的专业性，长期投入亚洲艺术家档案的整理和研究的重要贡献。
I'm deeply grateful and very honored to present this award to Reiko-san in recognition of her years of experience, precise judgment, and exceptional professionalism, and for her long-term contribution to Asian art and to the organization and the study of artists' archives.
相信Reiko-san有些话要说，我们就邀请他上台来受奖并发言。
I'm sure Reiko-san has some words to share. Let us invite her on stage to receive the award and say those words. Envelope with $5,000 price check as a token of support for you to continue extraordinary work. Thank you.
Can I have a slide, please? Art historian needs slides all the time. Also, this side. Thank you so much for your very kind words. And I would like to thank your foundation for this important award on me, and also ACC for all the support you give to all the Asian artists who came to the United States, as well as people going to Asia as well. It's reciprocal, very important thing. Okay. So well, Sai just mentioned a little bit, but I first met Sai in New York in 1995 when he was an ACC grantee at PS1. Prior to that, I was told by Mr. Yuri Kazuto, who is in center, the president of an art publishing house in Tokyo, that Sai was the most important Chinese artist to keep an eye on. So upon learning his presence in New York, I made a point of visiting him at West Beth. Since then, I have worked with Sai on a number of his important shows, primarily taking care of the backroom operation of his publications, beginning with his Queen's Museum exhibition. Before moving on, I have to make sure you understand one thing. I was not a trained archivist. Well, actually, many of people here are not trained archivists either, but who studied at the library school. Okay, I am an accidental archivist who, partly due to the necessity and partly due to the circumstances, learned the ropes of archivist tasks. My archivist career began with Eric Summer's 1989 retrospective catalog and the landmark publication Scream Against the Sky, both organized by Alexandra Monroe, and my dear colleague, who early on recognized my analytical temperament and since then utilized my skills for her project. For the Queen's catalog, as I said, but he didn't mention this, I authored an in-depth essay, probably the first, among the earliest, English language study of his work. But in retrospect, I am much prouder of my work on biography and project history as he said, CV, curriculum vitae, based on oral history interviews in Japanese and archival research from his then forming archive. Above all, I am very proud, actually I am damn proud, to have codified the data structure of his explosion projects that includes the duration of explosion and the amount of explosive materials. That's such an unconventional material line or item, data line I mean, so it didn't exist before SAI. This is my lasting contribution, I believe, to the scholarship of SAI, which I believe amply demonstrates my analytical knack and archival mind. On the occasion of this award, I would like to consider aspects of archival thinking and creative scholarship, a question raised before, which I have my own answer. Above all, along with oral history interviews, archives are foundational to art history as the fact-based bottom-up building blocks crucial to producing a broader knowledge base about an artist. My own interest lies in some basic concerns. I am interested in how a person becomes an artist, as I studied in Chopin's monograph. I am interested in how to understand the artist's oeuvre comprehensively, which I did. I contributed in Yoko no Catro, as well as the currently on view exhibition of Iwao Kagoshima, which is on view until 14th, next Saturday. So is that Saturday or Sunday? Whichever. So until 14th, it's on. So I urge you to visit to discover very unusual artists. And ultimately, I am interested in how to develop concrete bottom-up discussions that will enable us to formulate a strategy for global art history of multiple modernism. This is my obsession. Over the past 30 plus years, I have worked with a number of difficult artists, such as Matsuzawa Yutaka, conceptualist, Hikosaka Naoyoshi, non-art artist, and Arakawa Praskins, whose credo for not dying is really beyond my imagination, by developing the archival and oral history methodologies, or by deploying the archival and oral history methodologies. But by far, Sai is the most versatile, most expansive, and perhaps most difficult artist of all, which made it imperative to create a full view of his whole career since before he came to Japan and then until now. Well, not quite now, because the past few years I didn't really work on him. But I had a chance to work on that goal in 2020 by editing the catalog for his exhibition at the Palace Museum in Beijing. My proud contribution, in collaboration with Schumann Lin, the studio archivist, as well as other staff of Sai Studio, including Sai himself, consists of 3 parts: a comprehensive chronology of his project, and then a comprehensive list of keywords, which this morning Mel mentioned a little bit, and comprehensive global and cosmic map of his project footprints up to 2020, which I believe over 300, right? Something like that. Including unrealized project, or unrealized project, the suspended project, and realized project. For me, this was the ultimate archival achievement to date. Well, I have to go back to this photograph. My husband, Jeff Rostein, was charged to record, archive the event of the bath taking at the opening. So I would like to thank Sai for once trusting me and challenging me over the years, and I humbly accept this award. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you. Hi again. I'm delighted and honored now to present the inaugural Institutional Archival Contribution Award to Franklin Furness. This institutional award acknowledges the collaborative vision, support, and shared labor that makes archival preservation possible. Franklin Furness was founded in 1976 by its founding director emerita Martha Wilson to fill a void that she perceived in the art world. Mainstream museums and galleries were ignoring the new forms of art being created by activist artists, such as time-based media, performance art in alternative spaces, and temporary installations and environments. Franklin Furness's mission remains the same today, to support free expression for emerging artists no matter how out of the mainstream their practice may seem. Franklin Furness remains one of the most important archives of avant-garde art in the US and beyond. For nearly 5 decades, it's preserved and promoted ephemeral, experimental, and time-based art, supporting early career artists through the Franklin Furness Fund and connecting archives education through its initiatives. It is my great pleasure and honor to present this institutional award to Franklin Furness. Martha, would you please join me on stage to say a few words?
Thank you for this award. As everybody in this room knows, archival work is not done alone. It's done with subjects that you are preserving and describing. I'm the founding director emerita now, and Harley Spiller is the executive director of Franklin Furness. And finally, you is our senior archivist, and without these helpers, I wouldn't be able to do a damn thing. Thank you both.
Here is a $5,000 prize check as a small token of support for you to continue the extraordinary work in preservation and archives.
I'll just keep that.
I'd like to ask all the talent that has been part of this day to come on stage and do a group photo.